Welcome to Inside Abode, ladies and gentlemen. How are y'all doing? I'm Dave Jones. I'm your host. We're here. We're live. We're doing this again. I probably messed up the beginning of the live, and it's okay because it's live, and who cares? So, what we're going to do today, we got a quick hitter today, and we're going to talk a little bit about just the local market. I know we're talking a lot about the market in these last, I don't know, few episodes, but I think that's a good thing. That's kind of the point of the whole podcast is just to make sure that you understand what is going on in our local market, and provide some insight. And then also, just provide other stuff, in terms of community and all that kind of stuff. So we do still do have the Black History Month Reflection Series episodes coming up in the next couple weeks. So getting those all situated and planned, and you will get those as reflections of the month later on. So with that, today we have a special guest, an Abode, and I'm going to get her on once I get through some of this data. So I'm going to show you just some quick little data pieces, and then I want to get you some information from on the ground level from one of our agents. And first and foremost, I want to show you. Let's look at, what do y'all want to see first? Let's take a look at inventory because this is what I look at all the time. So let's take a look at inventory here. So this is Pierce County, and this is months of inventory based on pended sales. So I'm actually going to change this range to not the last 2 years. Well, I guess let's look at the last 2 years. You can see here in 2023, so this is January 2023, we actually started at 1.4 months of inventory. And I think this is an interesting place to start because you can see that if you flash forward to about right now, we're at approximately 1.6 as of January, but you're going to be interested to see what this looks like today in February. So remember, this is 1 month lagging. So January 125 is what it has there, January 25. But we are currently in about midway through. It's Valentine's Day. Actually, it's Valentine's Day. Anyway, but we are about halfway through the month, and it is the shortest month, so you're going to see something that's very interesting in just a few minutes. So you can see the dip down here, and typically in our spring market, we have a lot, that's our busiest time of the year. The inventory dips lowest around this time is in the spring market, but that year, actually, once summer started hitting, and you have January, February, March, April, May here, June, July. So you see the inventory starting to creep up, and what was coinciding with that was also just the rates. We've had quantitative tightening for I don't know how long now, a long time. I can't even remember the last time we haven't been quantitative tightening. We started last year towards the end of the year easing, and you're going to see a little bit of that as well. So you can see here at the end of 2023, December, and then once we get into January, we dip down. Spring market once again, but it's a higher low. You can see here our low was around 1 month of inventory, and our low in spring of our spring market of 2024 was around 1.2 and a little bit above that. And the question of this podcast is the spring market starting earlier? Because what we felt in the office, one piece of information is we have had more pendings than actives for the first time this last week or this week. We've had more pendings than actives on our own, like on the inventory that we hold. And typically that's around, I don't know, 27 to 21 listings all through the end of last year, like from month 6 on, the last half. And for the first time, we've had more pendings than actives this week. And that hadn't happened in 6 months, And so that was actually really encouraging that we had a lot of our inventory being purchased and bought up. So that was good. So now I'm going to change this date range back to, let's see, let's go to the top one there. And I'm going to show you what this chart looks like. So if you look at this chart, and it helps to have the numbers there. So we're at 1.2 at the bottom of the inventory last spring. And to give some context, like when we're in the crazy, crazy market, when rates were like super low, they'll never be there again. There was 2 weeks of inventory. It was like 0.4, So and what that means when I say months of inventory based on pending sales, it means basically if we stopped putting homes on the market based on what's pending right now, this is how long it would take to get those houses absorbed off, and off the market, and they'd be purchased. So and National Association of Realtors says, 4 to 6. You'll see some places that say 3 to 6 months. You'll see some places that say 4 to 6. National Association of Realtors says 4 to 6. Like, we're still in a seller's market, because if you're 4 months of inventory and up, and between six, that's actually a balanced market. Sorry, they say. Whereas we've been below four months of inventory forever, which it seems like. So even at two, we have more inventory, or I'm sorry, we have a seller's market level of inventory. But look at this drop right here. Like, this is what actually floored me the other day, just because I saw this and I hadn't looked yet, because we're just still pretty early in the year. This dropped from, December at 2.5 months of inventory for pended sales to 1.6 in January is a pretty steep drop. But you'll see that that happened. Oops, you'll see that that happened in last year as well. So in December, so right here we're at 2.1, and it was a pretty steep drop to 1.5. But that's a bigger drop to go from 2.5 to 1.6, from from December to January. So do you guys get to see what you guys see what I'm seeing? So that's what made me kind of trip out. So to coincide with that, we've had 3 straight weeks of mortgage rates decreasing. So and being under 7. So that's actually a positive. But also, what Jeff Tucker, our Windermere economist, said last night at our event, he said that our region is typically really sensitive to rates. So he's right, and this reflects that, because we've had the last 3 weeks, and so that doesn't surprise me that this is going down. Now, those 3 weeks are the end of January to, right now, because we were about 2 weeks into January, but still, like, this is a pretty big drop. That's almost a 1 month of actually, it is about close to a 1 month inventory of drop in 1 month. So my question is this I don't know, what's going on here? This is kind of crazy. So I'm going to bring on Maya, but once I get done looking at this. So also look at this. So for the month of February, we're at the 13th. So let's say 2/1 through 2/13, we're at 1.4 months of inventory right now, which is down 26%, about a quarter percent, 26% from 1.9 if we were to look at January 1st to January 13th in 2025. And so the same time frame, we're about, 26% less inventory. So that's pretty interesting. But when you look year over year, it's pretty similar. I'm just really looking at, though, this really steep drop and whether this will continue. So we'll keep you updated on that. But let me go ahead and get our guest on here. So the guest that I have now, she joined us actually in the pandemic, and she is currently, listing homes and doing her thing. She's going to a basketball game tonight. She is she's actually involved in the diversity committee in TAPCAR. I don't know if I'll bring her on to let us know how that's going. She also has been in Abode since, wow, this is year 5. That's pretty crazy. But Maia Rice, I'm sorry, Maia Liloc Rice. How are you doing? I always forget
Hi,
to say that part.
that's all right.
Um, it just rolls off the tongue really easy. Maia Rice, like
Yeah,
it's almost like a my rice. Like I don't even have to
yes,
say the whole thing, kind of. So
yes,
anyway,
I understand. It's my
I
maiden
know,
name and
I
it's
know you gotta.
recognizable in
I
this
know,
area. So
I know. I already know. So how's it going?
good, good.
Uh, yes, should let the people know who you are and what you do and all those things.
Yeah, like we said, Maya Liloc Rice. I'm a broker here at Abode for the last five. Yeah, I'm coming on my 5 year anniversary next month,
That's
actually.
crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about that. That just seems
Yeah,
like a long time ago,
it
like
does.
a lifetime.
Remember,
But
like
yeah,
the first Inside Abode, like was on. You were on Inside Abode, and I was doing them like Zoom Inside Abode. Like
yes.
it was weird time.
Come a long way from
Yeah,
there.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and so I am in the Tacoma Pierce County area, anywhere from Lake Tops, Tacoma, and then out to Gig Harbor. Done a lot of I was involved in new construction actually, a lot when I first started in real estate, and have now do more of the what we'd consider traditional residential, sales,
Hmm.
but picking up some new construction, so that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what have you seen? What have you been seeing in the market? Like we have been looking at our inventory that we're holding here in the office, at Abode offices, and then just thinking, like talking to you guys as you come in and out, talking to all the other agents as well. We're just feeling a lot of percolating stuff going on. Whether even if it's not like homes going under contract, we're seeing just more action. We're seeing people getting ready, and it feels like at the end of this January and in the beginning of February, the first half of February, like we're getting ready for takeoff in a certain way, but not quite there yet. I don't know. Is there any truth to that?
Yeah.
Have you seen anything?
I've definitely have seen a bit of that. Especially I've been closely watching just because of a listing that I have right now. I've been closely watching kind of that luxury market, above 1.7 million.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've been watching it in Pierce County just to see what's
Okay.
been going on. And I specifically remember in December, sending out an update to my seller saying, only something like in the previous 6 months, only 8 homes above 1.8 had gone pending.
Oh
And
wow.
so, because I mean, it was just, traffic was slow and things like that, and was trying to get a feel for why that was happening.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is that I was looking at it again recently, and actually, in the month of February, we're only halfway through. In that price range, four
Mm-hmm.
homes have gone pending right now.
Wow.
That same
Four home.
search. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
when we'd
crazy.
had eight, in the 6 months prior to December. So
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
it's
whoa. Hold on. Can
definitely,
you say
yeah.
that again? Can you say that again? So
Yes,
you said eight for the whole last 6 months?
yes. When I had looked it up in December, I think it was in early December, I looked it up and just to see how many homes had gone pending, and
Yeah.
eight had gone pending in Pierce County above. I think when I looked at it, it was 1.8, kind of.
Yeah.
Um, so 1.8 to 3.5. I didn't look at anything above that. But and just now, if I looked at it for this week for that same price range, four homes have gone pending in February alone.
And that's 1.8 million and above in a market where the median price is, I don't know, hovering around 450 to
Mm,
500,000.
yes, yes. So it's actually interesting. I didn't attend this, but the Windermere has a luxury breakfast every month,
Uh-huh.
and I had heard from some people who had attended that they were talking about the luxury market at 5 million and above, and how it's become very busy actually in the
Mm.
last month. And they said it's interesting to watch that because that usually is an indicator of what will happen in the more, median
Yeah.
price point. So yeah, and it's definitely I I know that even for after the beginning of the year, the first of the year, it picked
Uh-huh.
up for me, like with showings and things like that. So it's really interesting. And
Okay,
then
that's
just
that's good to know.
just observing in things not in the luxury market, but in North Tacoma, I had a couple buyers looking at some places and things that were in the 750 kind of price range. And
Yeah.
interesting to see that there are several homes that have had multiple offers. And
Mm-hmm.
like if you talk to some buyers right now that have been looking, it's it's feeling competitive for them. So
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like when I look at like I was looking at that chart, I mean, even just from last month to this month, that's a pretty significant drop when you're talking about minus 26.5%, like in terms
yeah.
of inventory. Like that's a lot. And
Hmm.
so I can feel or I understand why I guess that data point matches what you're saying about your buyers who are, you know, going through
You were
multiple offer
feeling that.
situations or whatever.
Yeah.
And those multiple offer situations, are those on every house? Are they on some houses? Are they just have you?
They're
It
not
doesn't
on
matter.
every house, usually houses that are dialed,
Okay.
um, and when I say that, like move-in ready. And I think
Okay.
that's what a lot of buyers are looking for right now is,
Hmm.
they don't necessarily have the excess funds to fix something up. So they're looking for these homes that are ready, and when they are, and pretty turnkey,
Yeah,
they'll
and that
go.
moving ready is all relative too, because like I don't know if you ever
True.
toured with me because I would move into a lot a lot of houses.
Yeah.
I like everything. I'm like, ooh, it got a pantry. Like, let's move in because I didn't move
Yeah,
in
it's
with a
so true.
pantry. Yeah, I'm terrible at that, but I do know what
Yeah.
you mean. Like, I think the audience knows what you mean too. I'm just making funnies.
But I
Um,
do think it's an indication that of what's to come.
mhm,
And I mean, personally, it's interesting because I had clients on both ends who were kind of like, oh, we're going to be ready after the first of the year. And um, initially, at the end of December, they kind of were like, you know what, we probably think we're going to hold off. And
mhm.
I think that this spring is going to be pretty busy.
Yeah, and when we look at, let's see here, I'm gonna look at this other and bring up this one, and let me see what you think. I'd love to hear what you think about this information. This is all from the Northwest MLS, and let's see, I think I have it up here. Bring it up. Here we go. Is it this one? Oh, this one. Yeah. All right. And this is the pending report. So this is a new data point. These are new data points that the Northwest MLS is sharing. And this is for a date, and this is just doing February. So I'm doing just the February date. I'm doing Pierce County and residential. So I'm actually going to do residential, and we'll take a look at condo as well. So I'll flip it to condo, and we'll see what that is after that. But I've been wanting to keep track of this because, it says pendings with multiple offers. So the
Hmm.
green is today, and the date range is this bar right here represents February 1st through 14th, and those are some that have been in contract and some that haven't been in out of that. Or I'm sorry, that are out of contract. So it might have closed on February 2nd or something like that,
Okay.
right?
Hmm.
So that's what this one is. That's just all for the date range, February 1st through 14th. Anything that has been pending and closed in that time frame. Whereas this one, the green one, is actually today, pendings with multiple offers today. Like
Okay.
these are nothing is closed. It's all the things that are pending right now. So it was hard at first to distinguish between the two, but now I totally get it.
Okay.
So as of today, 27% of the pending sales are have multiple offers,
Hmm.
and I think that that is an increase from the last time we looked at it. If I'm not mistaken, but I need to. I'll look that up for the next time and just make sure we go over that. But whether that's an increase or not from the last time, well, I guess I can look at it right here. Let's just change the date range. What is the date range for? Let's see. Let's do January 1st through the 31st. So just for the month of January. I don't know if did that change.
No, I don't know. It doesn't look like it changed.
Oh no, it didn't change because I don't think I can when I'm doing the share. Yeah. Well, that's a bummer because I can't change it when I'm sharing, I guess. Um, so anyway, let's see here. So pendings within, we'll move on to the next data points. Pendings with a finance addendum, I typically skip over that because that usually doesn't have much fluctuation. But the pendings with inspection, 64%, that's minus 10% from
Hmm.
the whole range, which is interesting, the range of the 1st to the 14th.
Yeah.
So what is that? How do you read that? What does that mean to you?
I mean, it's interesting because it shows that sorry, I can really see it. Let me move my, um,
Oh yeah, that's right. You're on a smaller screen. I apologize.
um, if we're looking at it, for today, you mean, versus the previous 2 weeks? It's
Yeah, or just
interesting.
like, yeah, for all the stuff that has gone under
Pendings.
contract, it's 74%. But as of today, like anything that's under contract today, there's a negative 10, there's a 10% gap between everything that's gone under contract and maybe closed. Like something
Yeah.
might have closed February 1st or it's February 2nd or February 3rd or 4th or 5th or whatever. Um, but as of today, like right now, anything that's pending, it's actually pendings with inspection has dropped
Yeah.
10%. So that's a pretty big drop. That's a lot. That's double digits. So I mean, to me, that says like maybe more multiple
Multiple
offers, like
offers.
you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, it's interesting to, I mean, that's what I would think. So that's why I'm like, why is the pendings of multiple offers negative too? Because I would have thought, although it's a bigger drop with pendings with an inspection than the drop of multiple offers. So, but I would think that that's one of the things, multiple offers, I think definitely impact whether or not a buyer feels that they can and would um, waive their inspection.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely think that there is a correlation between those two things.
Between these two, yeah. I mean, there
Hmm.
could be, yeah. I mean, that's yeah. I was wondering about that as I was looking at it, but I'm like, still, even just the data point itself, it's like that's pretty telling. And I'm
So
because, yeah, good,
do you know if it includes no, it's an inspection addendum, which means that it's coming from the buyer side. So it's not necessarily including a a seller pre-inspection, if that's
good point.
part
Yeah,
of the listing.
I'm not sure about that. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
Something to think about. I'll
mhm,
look at that later. Pendings with escalation addendum. Like that one's at 6%. So anything that's right now under contract, 6% of the homes under contract in Pierce County from February 1st to February 14th have 6% of those contracts have
mhm.
an escalation. So still kind of safe from the craziness, but there are lots of multiple offers out there. Um,
Yeah,
so that's pretty interesting to me.
those are great
Uh,
numbers to watch, though.
Yeah, I agree. I like taking a look at those, and especially for everyone listening too, they can take a look at. Oh, I did say I was going to do condos. Let's look at condos and see how that
Go
differs.
ahead.
Sorry, if I can. I don't know if it'll let me. Let me see. Squirrel. Sorry. Well,
That's
I'm going to stop
definitely
sharing, and then
can
I'm going to
change.
actually see if it'll
Mm.
do it for me this time now. Let's see here, and then I'll bring you back in. So Pierce County, yes, state range 1 through 14. I want y'all to see condos.
Hmm.
All right, here we go. Let's get the condos on here. Mm, okay. Yeah, it's weird. I didn't know that it would do that. So for condos, can you see that all right?
Yep.
Look at this for condos. Pendings with multiple offers. So as of
Interesting.
right now, yeah, the condos. So again, I'm just going to show you so you know. So here's the condos property type, Washington, Pierce County. Didn't put a city in from date February 1st to 14th. Um, Pendings with multiple offers for condos, we're looking at 18% of the contracts right now have multiple offers. I was not expecting that
No.
at all. So that's interesting.
Hmm.
And of the wow, so the condo market seems to be heating up
Interesting.
because that's a pretty big, big gap there in terms of
Hmm.
so anything from 1 through 4, the first through the 14th. That interesting. That went under contract was at 11%, but as of today, everything under contract is 18%. Finance addendum. This one's interesting. Pendings with escalation addendum. So there's only 1% as of
Mm.
today that's under contract of condos in Pierce County with the escalation addendum 1%. So nothing burger there. Pendings with an inspection addendum 82% as of today. So
Yeah.
yeah, um, I don't know. I think that that's interesting to look at. I don't know.
That is interesting. I have
Yeah.
just hearsay wise, if I think about it, I've heard about a few like colleagues who have gone pending on condos.
Yeah.
So I mean I just bring it up because I don't know if I could tell you that I heard anyone going pending on a condo last year. You
I
know what I
know, right?
mean?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
for me to hear more than one person talk about that just in the last month, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, that's interesting. They're
So
they're
that
starting to
tracks
sell
with
again.
what you're saying or what you've experienced then is what you're
Hmm.
saying.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Well, that's I just wanted to make this a quick one so that we could go over some
okay.
stuff. I mean, that's we're gonna go over more data later. Um, do you want to do a random? We'll end with a random hot take, and I don't even have the questions down.
Random
You
hot
ready to
take.
play hot
Okay.
take? All right, we'll do
Okay.
hot take, and this is just
Hmm.
me going off the top of my head.
Okay.
Let's see. Orange juice or water?
Hmm. Is the water bubbly?
Mmm. Nope, just regular water. H2O.
Maybe orange juice then.
Ooh, okay. All right. So how about this one? Skittles or Starburst?
Skittles,
Skittles. Okay.
for sure.
Let's see. What about this one? Pants or sweaters? Which one do you like better?
Oh, it's hard. I'm gonna say sweaters,
Oh,
especially with
okay.
the kind of weather
Really?
we've been having recently. Yeah,
Yeah. Do
yeah,
you think that's like a weather like that's a winter answer?
yes. Because I
Okay.
think that I would answer that differently and at a different time of
For
year.
sure. For sure. Um, let's see. Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge as a browser?
Chrome.
Okay, okay. You're a Chrome person.
Hmm.
All right. Last one. Um, what's that one? Oh, Bridgerton or Severance. Have you ever seen Severance
I
before?
haven't seen Severance.
Oh,
I
yeah.
probably already would have said Bridgerton anyway, though.
Oh, really?
I read those books like years ago, so
Okay, Bridgerton or Harry Potter?
oh, I'm still a Bridgerton person over Harry Potter.
Really? Okay.
Hmm.
I've never seen one episode. I just said it just because that's what popped up in my head. I didn't
It's
even know if you've seen the
hilarious.
show or not. All right.
I
Well,
have.
you passed a hot take. Good job. Um,
Great.
all right. How do people get in touch with you if they want to know more about the market or anything like that, or they want to go
If
check out Waterview, like
if
the
oh
home of the show?
gosh, they want to check out Waterview,
Yeah.
give me a call. I'm at 253-545-1650. You can see me on the socials, Maia Rice Abode,
Yeah.
and yeah, reach out.
Cool. And go see Waterview or talk to her about Waterview
Yeah,
because
come and
yeah,
see
that
it.
property
You
is
can,
one of a
it's
kind.
it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Well, thank you and thank everybody for checking us out on our live and we will see y'all next week.
bye.
Peace.
Thanks.
All right. Cool. Thanks for jumping on and doing that last
Yeah, you're
minute because
welcome.
I needed somebody to help
No
carry that for me
problem.
because yeah, talking to by myself